Hi, I'm Phyllis from southernfrugal.com. Well, we've been gone for a few days. When I say gone, I mean we've been working here in the house, and I haven't done any videos, but we're back now. So the main thing we were working on was this floor in the kitchen, and I'll talk about that in just a minute and show you what we did. But first, let's get our smoothie made. So I'm using some kale. This is fresh kale this morning, stalks and all. And let me turn this down so you can see. There. All right, so we're also using some celery. I've got where we use celery and carrots in pretty much every smoothie now, just for the added health benefit. Leaves and all in the celery. See, just taking the leaves and all of it. And this morning, I'm going to also use, this is probably 3/4 of a cup of English walnuts. Put those in. Also raspberries, that's about a cup of raspberries. And this morning I'm using the frozen carrots, orange, 3 cubes of orange juice, 2 cubes of coconut pulp. These are apples that were frozen. 3 cubes of cream of wheat and oatmeal, and that's a steel cut oats. And I've got 4 little dates here to sweeten. And we're going to also put some peanut butter in. In fact, I'm at the bottom of the peanut butter jar. So. Alright, so I'm going to try to get all of the peanut butter out of this jar here. Don't want to waste any. Yeah, so we've been working on this floor, and I'll tell you that we used that resurface stuff that you can get from Home Depot, and it worked great on the floor except for the areas that were worn, which would be in front of the sink, in front of the oven, in front of the refrigerator. Same places you would, know would get worn on a floor in a kitchen. Now it's interesting that none of the other floors had any worn area on them at all. They were all fine. But the kitchen, and I guess I just spend a lot of time cooking in the kitchen. And so, especially in front of the sink here, but we were able to fix it. We've got one more coat we've got to put on, but after that everything should be fine. Alright, so now we're going to add probably 1.5 cups of water. Yeah, that ought to work. Alright, so I know without tasting it's going to taste like raspberries, so we'll be back when I get this ground up. We'll be right back. Alright, it's major thick this morning, and I forgot to add the banana, so we're going to have to put that in. We're also going to definitely have to add more water. So I'm just putting 1 banana in this morning because this was a pretty big banana. And I'm going to have to add more water. Just going to bring it up to over 50 ounces. I think I need to stir that just a little bit. Get that water down towards the bottom. Yeah, so y'all bear with me. I'm going to turn it on again for just a second here. So yeah, we definitely ended up adding more water this morning. I don't know why it was so thick. But anyway, let me back y'all up. There we go. Okay, got overage, which is good, so I need to freeze that for Sunday. Okay, I hope this tastes good. I didn't taste of it before. There's what it looks like. Raspberry. How did I know? Yeah, it definitely tastes like raspberry. But I love raspberry. It's good. Okay, so what I want to do is show y'all what the floor looks like. So hold on. Okay, here's what the floor looks like. And see these places right here? And got some in front of the sink. And some over here around the stove. But anyway, this is antique heart pine, and so it, supposed to look a little worn, but I wanted it all shiny, and so now we've got to put one more coat on just this section of the floor down through here, because this part's fine. There's what it looks like. I think it looked really good, a lot better than it did. All right, so here's what we used. Started out with cleaning the floor. Used this to clean it, and my understanding is what this does is it takes off any soap film that's on the floor or grease or anything. So we used that, cleaned it off real good. Then we used this, which is actually a water-based urethane, and it looked good. From about right here over looked great. But the areas in there, in front of the sink, and right over here sort of in front of the stove and the dishwasher, didn't look so good. So they actually looked a white looking color because the finish had worn off down to the wood, really. So there was like no finish on it. So what we had to do is sand it off all over in here, and then we applied this kind of clear satin polyurethane, which will impart sort of an amber color to the wood. And that's what we had to do so these areas wouldn't show up lighter. And right in here, can y'all see that where my foot is? Right in there, of course it looked real white, but we've got to put another coat on just this area over in here. And first we'll have to sand it with the 220 sandpaper. But we're going to wait for several more days just to make sure everything is super dry, and then we would be finished. Yeah, so the floor looked good. Now, so what I'll say is, this is a good product, it really is. But if your floor is all the way down to the wood, in other words, the finish is mostly gone, then this is not what you should use. You should use this, or there's one that's called Varathane, I think. There's several brands of this, and it will impart sort of an amber color to the wood, which doesn't make any difference if you want to stain the wood dark. Of course, you'd have to stain the wood first. But anyway, I would highly recommend this if your floor is not in too bad a shape, and it definitely causes the floor to shine, and they say it lasts for years, and I believe it because it's water-based polyurethane or urethane. See that right there? And this one is polyurethane. And this dries in 3 to 4 hours. This dries in about an hour. And it's almost like putting wax on the floor. That's what it reminded me of. But you see that? That is exactly what it will do. It will definitely bring back the shine and make it look like it was just refinished. But if you're all the way down to just bare wood, it's still going to work. But in our case, we wanted that amber look because that's what the rest of the house is. And heart pine will look amber anyway after a while. But we wanted it to look like all the rest of the house. And now it does, except for this little area over in here. And we're going to finish up that probably in a few days. All right, y'all, so that's all I've got. We've been working on closets. Let me show you in here. So we've got our table in here because we don't want to move it back to the kitchen until everything's finished. So there's the bags to go to Goodwill, and most of that is to do with Bucky's closet and his stuff. There's a picture I painted of Mr. Bucky's mother. She was actually a beauty queen, I think, in Hemingway or one of those little small towns in the 1940s. She was very pretty. Anyway, we're going to give that to one of the granddaughters. Anyway, so there's the stuff to go, and we've got more. We haven't finished with all the closets yet. I've got to do the, oops, y'all can't see, there. I've got to do the linen closet, and of course the last thing I'm going to do will be the kitchen cabinets. And y'all know I got a lot of cooking stuff in all those cabinets, pots, pans, every kind of pan imaginable, and just we've got to downsize yet again. We do. So anyway, we will see y'all next time. I hope y'all are still enjoying your smoothies every morning. I know we are, and without them I don't think we'd have had the energy to do all this stuff. All right, we'll see y'all next time. Bye.